Good day, everyone. This is Coach Reese coming at you with another video. I hope that all is well with you and your family and that you are enjoying your day. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about history, and I'm just going to touch on three important nuggets, if you will, before I start to read my letter. When you study history, it's important that you know how to study history. So basically, I'm going to just give you a baseline of where to start as far as with your history, and then you can go from there. And also in this letter, I'm going to give you three master teachers that you can do your research on, and they will help you to study your history properly, okay? The first topic I want to talk about, or subject I want to talk about, is the first human remains. The first human remains were found in Africa, and the oldest human remains were found in Africa. Okay, so the first human being, if you will, was called Homo habilis. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it properly. I'm just going to go ahead and spell it for you. Homo, Homo, habilis, Habilis. Okay, that was the oldest human remains that were found in Africa. Okay. So basically what I'm trying to tell young people is if you want to study your history properly, you have to start in the continent of Africa, okay? And then, like I say, you start doing your research on this Homo habilis, okay? The point number two is I want to talk briefly about the human being that we all link to, or the species or what have you. It's called Homo sapien, and I'm going to spell that for you. It's Homo Sapean. Okay, Homo sapien. Okay, Homo sapien is the human species that we all link to. Okay, and those artifacts, those Homo sapien artifacts, were found in Africa. Okay, so in order to study history properly, like I say, you have to start in the continent of Africa. And basically, the first human being was found in Africa. And basically, those Afro-Indigenous people, I call them Afro-Indigenous people, they migrated throughout the world by either walking, catching a ride on a boat, or, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But basically what I'm trying to say is that the Afro-Indigenous people migrated from Africa to every single continent in the world. So in order to study history properly, you must, in my opinion, you must do your research on the Afro-Indigenous people, right? So, in other words, if you want to study the history of Turkey, the country of Turkey, and you want to study the roots of Turkey, the beginnings, I would do my research on the Afro-Turks, right? The Afro-Turks, or Afro-Turkish indigenous Indians. Okay, I'm getting tongue-tied here. But I believe they're called Afro-Turks. Okay, basically what you do is when you study your history, you always follow two things. Now, this is just my opinion. All human beings, the oldest human being had an afro. I don't have hair on top of my head right now, but I did have an afro back in the day. And You also want to follow the melanin, right, which is your skin color. You follow those two things. You want to research the Afro. I don't know if you like, say for instance, the Philippines. You want to study the Afro Filipino indigenous people, right? So no matter where you go in the world, you're going to encounter, if you want to do the research, you're going to encounter the history of the Afro-Indigenous people, no matter where you go. Okay. I used to always, I think I doubted that black people lived in Australia. But, if you want to study the roots of Australia, I think that the Afro-Indigenous people are called Aborigines. I'm not pronouncing that correctly, but you you follow this rule. You research the Afro-Australian indigenous people. Who were the first Afro-Indigenous Australian people? Okay, and I believe Aborigines should come up. Okay. Like I say, studying history is very easy on this planet because, like I say, we all originate from the continent of Africa. And like I say, if you want to study history properly, you study the original man, which came from Africa, and the great migration from Africa to every continent in the world. Okay. So we are all one big family. We all have DNA of African origin. Every single person on this earth has the DNA of Africa. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and get started with the letter. The title of my letter today is The Importance of Knowing Your History. The importance of knowing your history. History is a peek into the past, a past rich in wisdom, culture, and a way of life. Greatness is a part of our history, and unfortunately, trials and tribulations. True history brings to reality of who our ancestors were and how brilliant they were under difficult circumstances. Wars, slavery, the civil rights movement, fighting for the right to vote, cruel events of the indigenous Indians in America. Knowing where you come from is important. Knowledge of who you are helps to identify who you are as a person. Who are your ancestors? What are my roots? These are very important questions. We must dive. These are very important questions, but we must dive a little deeper. You must ask yourself, where did the original man come from? How is everyone on my street related to me? How is everyone in my community related to me? How is everyone in the world related to me? As you study history, you will find out that we all originated from one continent on this planet. Everyone on this planet have ancestors in a direct DNA bloodline to one continent on this planet. Any reputable historian or archaeologist will agree that we all have a direct DNA bloodline to one continent on this planet. Knowing who you are should give you a strong sense of pride in yourself and your ancestors. We all We are all linked to greatness. Scientists, doctors, astronomers, engineers, writers, great kings and great queens. Be proud. Be proud of where you come from. Be proud of the blood, sweat, and tears that was shed in order for you to be here. Be proud of the sacrifice of bones being broken, folks dying for you, folks that were beaten nearly to death in order for you to be here. Knowledge of self helps you pave the road of your future. If you know where you come from, you can be confident in where you're going. Do not go through life blinded by your past. Study your history so that you truly know who you are. Here are a list of great teachers that will help you discover who you are. Dr. John Henry Clarke. Dr. John Henry Clarke. Dr. Kaba, Hiawatha, Kamene. Dr. Kaba, Hiawatha, Kamene. Arthur A. Schomburg. Arthur A. Schomburg. I know I only listed 3 teachers. In my opinion, they are master teachers, and they will guide you accordingly on your quest to discover your history and who you really are. Okay, young people, that concludes my letter for today. And at the end of my videos, I always want to touch on 3 important topics, 3 important nuggets in regards to dealing with wisdom. And I also have a short statement on critical thinking. And I have what you call an ending statement of practice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start on my 3 important points dealing with wisdom. Point number 1, wise people are good listeners. Point number 1, wise people are good listeners. Point number 2, wise people have the thirst or desire to learn good knowledge and spiritual knowledge. That's very important, young people. Point number 2, wise people have the thirst or desire to learn good knowledge and spiritual knowledge. Okay, I want you guys to remember that, especially point 2. Point number 3, wise people have the courage to teach their wisdom. Wise people have the courage to teach their wisdom. Okay, so I hope you guys would do your research on wisdom, and I just pray that you guys will take on that task of learning as much wisdom as you possibly can. Remember, seeking elders in your community is the best resource, one of the best resources to gaining good wisdom. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and talk about my little brief statement in regards to critical thinking, and it goes like this. Always be a critical thinker, especially when making big decisions. Always be a critical thinker, especially when making big decisions. So young people, I encourage you to discuss the topic of critical thinking with your parents, and they will help you navigate in making decisions between making big decisions and minor decisions. Okay, they will help you differentiate, if you will, between making big decisions and minor decisions. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and start with my ending statement of practice, and it goes like this. I love you, young people. I want the best for you. I want you to practice using love and wisdom in all that you do. Life is a game that you must learn how to play. Practicing love and wisdom with your family, friends, and loved ones creates a powerful team. Love conquers all, even if you feel defeated, young people. So young people, I encourage you to keep loving and keep growing in wisdom, and God will bless you in a mighty way. Young people, I encourage you to hit the thumbs up button. I encourage you to share this content with family, friends, and loved ones. And also, young people, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel. At the end of the day, young people, I want you to accomplish all your goals and dreams in life. As long as it is productive, I'm with you 110%. And young people, I just want you to remember this. I want you to be the best that you possibly can be every single day of your life. That's very important, okay? I'm just going to go ahead and end my video and say this. God bless you, young people, and may God keep you until we meet again.